everyone, a very good evening to you, and thank you for staying with us here on NTV. If you're just tuning in as well, you're welcome on to the Classy and the Sassy show. I know around this time every Wednesday night you're always looking forward to the most interactive and engaging TV talk show on your screens right here on NTV. If you're watching us via social media on Facebook at North Television GH, make sure you give us a like, give us a follow, and share this content for it to reach more and more people. You know, we want a bigger audience as well. So yes, make sure you're sharing, giving us a follow and a like on this particular stream, and also follow us on Facebook at the CS Show on Facebook. Now you should get very comfortable with us, as well. We are very confidential people, we're very private people, and so if there is anything you want to share with us here on the show, you know, you want us to talk about, please make sure you're reaching us. Send us a DM on Facebook at the CS Show, and somebody will be responding to you as well. So yes, get interactive with us via social media, and a number is displayed on your screen, and so you can also get to talk to the team on various issues. If you want to have business to do with us, make sure that you're picking up the numbers to, you know, get your spot here on the show. My name is Queen Classy, your host, and another night is here to bring you some compelling discussions, and this particular one I'm sure is of interest, because this time around we're looking at things that is hurting society, that the youth has been involved in, and this particular topic has been sidelined for some time, and so it is time for us to bring it back, because it is hurting society, like I said, and even individuals. Okay, not just society but individuals, it is hitting as well. And there is a price to always pay for everything. You should know that, because widely we're going to be looking at the negative impact, the disadvantages this particular issue we're about to talk about brings to you. And so we are talking promiscuity and infidelity. Promiscuity and infidelity. So I get to tell you the distinction between these two, because I hear some would say that it's, you know, kindly the same thing, but it's not. They have similarities, but in context they are different from one another. So we'll get an interactive one that with our guests. I have two beautiful guests with me here to talk on this matter. They are not new faces, I'm sure, but if you're new here on the show, they are going to be new to you. They be seeing new faces, but they are not to us at all. Make sure that you're coming to Clinton Lodge and Restaurant, because that is where we're coming to you from. So if you're getting into Tamale, if you're a stranger, if you just want to go somewhere chill, relax, you know, in a serene environment, Clinton Lodge and Restaurant has got you. They are located right here in Tamale at Target. You know, there are some prominent houses as well. It's just a serene area, I just want to say. You can get your comfortable rooms, very hygienic, let me say. Your security is assured. Clinton Lodge and Restaurant gives you all of that, and we are happy to be partners with them this season to bring you the CS show. Our partners again goes to TMP Studios, TMP Film Academy. Now they're enrolling, and so for the academic school persons who are interested, individuals who are interested to, you know, become a photographer, a videographer, a director, when it comes to, you know, what they're doing behind the scenes to make sure they're seeing the CS show, they will be teaching you all of that. So TMP Film Academy, you can call them, get in touch with them, and then you become a professional in this field. I'll take a very quick commercial break. When I come back, I get to introduce my guests and we get interactive. Don't go nowhere.
Explore the innovation and imagination behind epic movie making. Apply for our training courses in filmmaking at TMP Film Academy, located at Tamale, Ward K. Our 6 months intensive training program will introduce you to directing, script writing, cinematography, photography, lighting, production sound, editing, graphic design, and many more. You will receive hands-on technical training through behind-the-scenes breakdowns, concept development, storylines, student productions, and mentorship by seasoned and experienced industry professionals. Enroll now. Pick up the admission forms for 100 Ghana cedis. For more enquiries, call or WhatsApp 050-486-8483 or 024-125-1400. TMP Film Academy, unearthing the creativity in you.
Thanks for staying with us. Welcome back onto the Classy and Sassy Show, the CA show, airing every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Do not miss it. So if you do, you can catch the replay on Mondays every afternoon at 1:30 p.m. right after N News at 1. Now, I told you I have some people here with me to do this discussion, and we're talking promiscuity and infidelity. Now, there's this rising growth or culture of promiscuity in our society, and it's getting worse by the day. And if discussions like this do not go on as fast and as quick as possible, I think that we may be doing some damage to the youth and even to our society. And so yes, this evening I have been joined by Mr. Raphael Titus. Mr. Raphael Titus. He is a life coach, he is a relationship expert, and he is a marriage counselor as well. So Mr. Raphael Titus is a guest for tonight, one of them. He's not new. For those of you who have been been with us from Love Matters, the days of Love Matters, and even the first season of the CA show, he has been through with us, and he's here again to talk on this. Another interesting personality that I have with me here is Madam Na Richardson. Nakwale Richardson. Madam Nakwale Richardson. She is the CEO of Northern Radio Awards. She is a chef, professional chef. What else do I add? What else do I add, Mr. Titus? Entrepreneur. I don't like these. She's an entrepreneur. I mean, when it comes to women empowerment, she has been one of my inspiration. And so yes, Madam Nakwale Richardson is here to join us to this discussion. But then let me say thank you again to New Image Salon. Now they have put together this weekend that I have on, and so New Image Salon, thank you so much, Madam Michelle, for making this for me. It was quite impromptu. You had to put something together to get me wear this for tonight. So thank you so much, New Image Salon, when it comes to manicure, pedicure, hairstyling, makeup, braiding. When it comes to hair, anything that has to do with hair, they have a very serene, nice, and they treat you like the king and queen that you are. So walk up to New Image Salon. They're located right behind the Senate flats. You can locate them right there and get yourself whatever. When you come out, the name speaks for itself. You're going to have a new image on. So thank you so much. Tonight, promiscuity and infidelity. Let's get right into it. So promiscuity means having or involving in many sexual partners. One is engaged in sexual activity frequently with different partners or being indiscriminate in the choice of sexual partners. Whilst infidelity also means the action or state of being unfaithful to a spouse or other sexual partners. So you get to the distinction. The distinction is promiscuity has to do with more of a single person who is not committed in a relationship and you're just jumping from one to another, whilst infidelity widely is associated with marriage. People are in committed relationships and marriage. When you're caught like that, you are is described as infidelity. So yes, that is it. But I don't know if Mr. Titus, do you agree or otherwise with my stance on
I will basically stick to your definitions.
You will?
Yes.
Okay.
So having promiscuity is multiple sexual partners.
Right.
Let's target probably in quote without control.
Okay.
So if you're having multiple sex, most of it, some will define it as without basic reason.
Okay.
There may be a reason, underlying factor causing the actions or that, but because you are not in any committed relationship, we can't say something from the other side is causing you to do that. Okay. So basically, you just keep on going. 1 night stand, 2 night stand. As soon as the person tells you no, then some their feelings in their hands. As soon as you touch them, people also think it's a generous activity. They donate in that order.
So what are you donating?
They do donate. I'm from where to modern. So as and when it comes, they go there. We can term such characters and attitude as promiscuous in nature. Okay. So I agree with your definitions.
Okay. Madam Nakwale, promiscuity and infidelity.
I mean, it depends. Apart from the behavioral components, there are medical conditions. There's a condition called nymphomania. It's when you have uncontrollable sexual urges. It's medically induced. It's medically induced nymphomania. So we say you're a nymphomaniac.
Okay.
It's where the word maniac, is taken from, and it's something that it's more like a hormonal condition, but you need physical disciplines to help treat it. And people walk around without even knowing that they may be having that, as a condition. So the inducing factors vary. For some, it's a sport, like he said. There are others to donations. And then there's the medical.
These donations, I just don't get it.
Oh no! There's this skit that they show where they told the girl, the two old women was telling the girl, these Kumawood characters, that she shouldn't be sleeping around. She said she has pity on them.
Yeah,
she doesn't know how to refuse.
She can't be wicked like that.
Okay.
On farm way too much.
Oh, I see.
I'm here, Mobo. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I see. That's interesting. I didn't know people donate that much.
I mean,
or can be generous that much.
I mean,
interesting.
Some too, it's the complexes. So people that need consistent validation often use sexuality to define their sense of value.
Okay.
And so you have some persons feeling in charge and in control with such habits. They are the ones that go to the extremes, where they become fetish with the practices. You have the dominance and the submissive.
Okay.
Coming in all to play.
All right. Now, is promiscuity in its sense? Is it a bad practice? Now, I see your faces. Now, I'm asking because some would say sex is has health benefits. Exactly. So instead of probably just having it once in a while with someone else, or I can do it every day, because I have been told that if I'm sexually active as frequent as possible, maybe I can live long. The more I give out sperms, I'm living long. It's expanding my life. Yes, it's expanding my lifetime.
Thank you.
Yes, exactly. So I'm asking, in a sense, is promiscuity a bad thing? Is it a bad practice? I'll start with you, Madam.
It's a horrible thing.
Okay.
You see, promiscuity does not stem from medical angles. It stems from irresponsibility. So that's what makes it bad. If I have one partner, or I earn the right to have sex at will, responsibly. I think I mentioned this on one of our platforms. I said, we are making sex look like it's a sport. It's not. Sex is a job. It's a responsibility. It's not something you are doing as you are bored. Even in the adult entertainment industry, it's a job.
Yes.
So you don't go there, today I don't feel like doing doggy, I can't do 10 stunts. No, you won't get paid, because there's something that gets done.
Okay.
So there's a responsibility that comes with sex. Now, the moment you start hopping around from one place to the other, you are exhibiting your irresponsibility, because then, one, you're not making yourself accountable to any feedbacks from the act. It's just for fun. It's just the excitement, unless, like I said, there's a medical reason attached to it. If you're an nymphomaniac, that's a problem. Genuinely, that needs, treatment, and you need to seek medical care.
Okay.
So, but you see, we don't even, I'm sure when I said nymphomaniac, this is probably your first time hearing. Most people don't even know there's a condition called nymphomania. And so we tend to not ask the right questions. What are the inducing factors? Because it is that will tell us whether it's a good thing or it's a bad thing. Why am I having sex? They say we should do it. So you are doing it. You understand?
Yes.
Why am I, what do you call it, getting involved? If they say I should have sex every day, I could be doing this with one person.
Okay.
But the moment it becomes rampant, it becomes, like a spread, as if you have chocolate spread on a bread, then you are not making yourself accountable to it. So that makes it a bad thing.
So even with sex, it is there's this sexual responsibility attached to it.
Of course.
Okay.
Because then I'm having sex. A lot goes into sex. You would kiss. What are the rate elements?
Some don't kiss.
The Gafra Toli.
Some don't do that.
No, I'm breaking it down.
Right.
You kiss. You do your penetration.
Okay. Yeah.
So in the whole act, there are a lot of things that can go wrong. You understand? For us women, when we are not relaxed, we are not properly lubricated.
Yeah.
You get lesions in that area, you are risking infections. So if you are not responsible for the act, are you telling me that you just did the so can come? What can
come? Thank
No, it's not that. Some even go to the extent of having like anal, acts. And then you have the some even get the fistula conditions as well. So you keep in each stage of the act. If you kiss, you risk hepatitis. You risk even tuberculosis. You risk for those who do the blowies. Now they say blowy is illegal in Ghana. You could even
anal.
Oh no. Blowies.
Okay.
BJ's is illegal.
Yes.
In Ghana.
I mean,
and according to someone, anal is as well.
No, anal
because it says
it has always been.
It has always been there.
Okay.
They just
It's unnatural.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So BJ goes both ways, So even with that, you can even get candida of the throat as well. So at every stage of what you are doing, there's consequence. Unfortunately, we've painted sex with the excuse of medical benefits for so long. It suddenly seems like once I wear a condom, I'm good. Or if I'm with the right person, I'm good. Who is the right person?
Or a trusted partner.
But promiscuity does not, you don't think trust, you are thinking make I do. So you are doing, going like that. And I don't think in any proper sense of the word it makes it right.
Okay, it doesn't make it right.
Let me add a little flesh, a little more meat too. So it's you were asking if it is right or wrong. In religious sense, anything in excess becomes wrong. One thing religion preaches, or the basic tenet of religion, is control.
Okay.
So anytime somebody tends to go out of control, then it becomes wrong. From the cultural sense also, we are brought up in certain values, culture, you are trained in a particular way.
Yeah.
If you are in any society where certain things are adhered to, as Africans, for instance, if it is polygamy, we expect it to be a certain number of people you are committed to. If it's monogamy from the Christian perspective, then it means that you are also expected to be with a particular person. So in that sense, you are noted to seek that kind of medical longevity through sex from a certain means. If you are not within that environment and you are even doing it, and promiscuity is a big word though. It's not just picking a boyfriend, a fiancé, or just, it means that for you, you've lost control, you've lost your sense of shame, you've lost your sense of direction, you've lost so many senses. In fact, a whole lot of
so
things.
much of yourself.
It's like, thank you. You've lost, your building blocks are basically scattered all over the place.
Right.
And you are looking for it from A to B to C. It's like Kama and Bibiaira. Going from here, you are looking for it in that sense. So that makes it very wrong. So from tradition, culture, religion, we can mention so many. I don't know any religion in the world that promotes that kind of the word promiscuity. As soon as Kama Sutra just shows the acts or the various acts or positions of doing the sexual thing. So basically, all the religion, all traditions, all culture from Asia to North America to Africa are against that word promiscuity. Any act in that can be termed promiscuous will be highly eschewed in that basis. When you go to the Americans, Europe, where some may not necessarily have standard culture or tradition, these things are prevalent because even them, they have formed their own, the era forms a sort of norm that guides their behavior at a particular point in time. That is why that word promiscuous even popped up. It means that those character and attitude didn't conform to the precepts at that time. So we say somebody is promiscuous. If you want to say it's a bad thing, if there is another word for bad, or the senior brother of bad, we
would have to use that particular word for it.
You can see the name, promiscuity.
Yes, promiscuity.
It's even bad, the word itself.
Now, what bracket of people?
Promises.
Yeah.
Promises there, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
What bracket of people are more vulnerable, to being promiscuous? Everybody?
Yes.
How?
Once you go through puberty, you're susceptible.
Okay.
Because promiscuity is only stimulated when your hormones become more activated or inflamed, if that's the right word to use. So once you walk through puberty, you are prone to promiscuity.
Okay.
So a girl is fine until the day she wakes up and her nipples get tingly. Yeah, I mean, she's fine until she starts menstruating, because then now you have to go through the cyclical, phases of womanhood, where you go through the egg laying process, your ovulation process, your safe processes, and then the release phase for you. So all of us, for adults, sometimes the triggers could come from our terms with regards to hormonal interfaces. So some women, maybe after childbirth, your prolactin levels are in the roof, so your desire for sex goes more. It puts you in a position where your attraction gets crazy. I don't know if you watched the Bridgerton.
Yeah.
You have.
I have.
What's her Daphne's mother?
Guilty.
Was
As charged.
was going through, I think, premenopausal changes, and her libido was all
Over the roof.
to the point where she nearly jumped on the guard of the house because the husband is dead. And so it's everybody is susceptible to promiscuity.
Okay.
There's no, once you have gone through puberty, you come out of it, because your body, you see, it's not like you induce the appetite. There are behavioral inductions, but there's a natural seed, which is that your body is asking for it. So my body may be asking for just 1 round. Somebody's body may be shouting 20 rounds, 100 rounds.
So it varies?
Yes.
Varies,
yes. But everybody
can. But at the end of the day, it is how responsible you go about it.
It's how you choose to respond, to it.
Okay.
I had tumor issues with my health, and there was a problem with my pituitary gland. Now, the pituitary gland is responsible for the production of your prolactin levels. Now, the prolactin is connected to your breast, so, and it's also responsible for a bit of stimulations that you get through your breast. My hormones went crazy. It should have been 3. It was about 30. So I had a crazy sexual drive for 4 solid years.
Congratulations.
And I still went celibate. Yes.
You are not a human being.
I was just looking for a word to ask.
You have to be a case study. You have to
yes.
and then study. You are not a human being. You can continue, please. Yes, let me make that fact.
No, so I'm coming down to the responses. it gets so bad. Like it was. I'll tell you a funny story. Oh God, this is embarrassing. It was so. No, but I mean, it's for people to appreciate. What I'm trying to say. Like it was so bad. One day I was walking in town, and then I saw a naked madman. I just stood there, looked at him, and I was like, wasted pennies.
Thank you.
And I went to a friend. I was talking to him. He's like, why? Who is forcing you?
You're talking passionately about it.
No, like it was funny. Like it was funny that I was watching me before my health went crazy. So it was funny for me that I won't even look at a person. Now I'm here admiring a madman's something, you know, and it stemmed from my responses to the edges that were coming.
Yeah.
So throughout that time, no male friend came to my house. I don't care how close we are. If you want us to talk, I'll meet you. So like there was a consciousness. So it's not so much about you, the feelings. It's your response to it. Because then when those edges come, you have to decide. Because when it is registered in your mind that sex is a responsibility, it means you then have to decide, am I going to be responsible for what I'm going to do now? Or it's a bit of restraint going to save me from getting, into trouble. My doctor used to tease me that you go crazy. I said, let me go crazy. It's better to go crazy than this than to go crazy because of broken hearts. It is better. And the funny as it was a very painful experience because my health, apart from the disaster, physically, I was not in a very, very good shape at all. But it's how I chose to deal with it. You get it? I realized that no, I'm changing, which means there must be an adjustment. And a lot of the time, when the edges that come, the edges you can't control, but your actions you can. So when the edges start coming, I am mindful of, look, if I stay in town for long, there might be the temptation to say, oh, let me go and see this person. Because it's so bad for me, I may be tempted to go. So I'm done. Papa, I ran back to my house. There were days my phone could go off for weeks because I don't want anybody to call me and it will start like a funny joke.
Yeah.
I was telling somebody just this afternoon that the seduction is both ways. The temptation is both ways.
Yeah.
Maybe you won't pounce on me. I'll be the one to pounce on you.
Yes.
Because if I don't see you, the temptation won't come. So I think when we look at it from that angle, it makes our understanding of dealing or appreciating promiscuity much better because we keep making it look as if it's an uncontrollable edge. It isn't. I'm a case study.
Yes, you're a case study, in fact. So it means that you need to identify what exactly is making you promiscuous and then you curve a niche around it to stop it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Promiscuity have triggers.
Yes.
It has, aside teens being
teens,
energy, excess hormones. They are there. They just need somewhere to divert it. Some need validation.
Yeah.
Because their physical body starts showing certain things. They want people to admire them in that way. In another sense, promiscuity could even stem from trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Childhood trauma. People, it's a way of escape for some people. People who have been traumatized, someone may have been raped, and his way of punishing men or punishing herself is sleeping around. One night stand. I will just go there. When she sees you are into her, then she goes away. Some, as she said, it makes them feel powerful. I can control 1,000 men at my fingertips.
Yes.
So I mean, I'm there. You see, sex is a powerful tool.
It is.
Yes, it is.
No doubt.
Yes.
You read all the holy books. What men fell, it is that thing.
Yes.
So men, so some use it as a way of showing how powerful their femininity is. Others also appreciate the fact that men are able to use their body. there was
There was
a lady, one of the shows, who wrote to us that she was that promiscuous, and now she has entered into a monogamous marriage where everything when women enter into the environment of marriage or the institution, they are disciplined. Women can tune their mind and then forgo all others and then focus for a while. Now, after this mind tuning, she wrote that she has missed men using her body.
Well, her husband is not.
No, the husband is.
No, he's one man.
Okay.
You see the adventure of variety.
Thank you.
The taste of mixture.
So
you understand?
She has literally missed that, and all these feelings or all this jumping from one place to other. If it's a teenager, we can first tackle from the hormonal point of view, and we say such people may not have control. Then the medical components may also be a trigger to it. Aside that, the trauma or there's something always that is causing some people loss of identity. If you don't know who you are, one thing that can make people very promiscuous, like kids who don't know their dad, or kids, we call them the daddy issue kids. They are always seeking validating from men. So wherever they will go to get that validation, they will be moving from one place to other, place to other, and that makes them promiscuous. So it's just a whole wide range, psychological, whole lot of things that makes people tend to be promiscuous. So we are all prone, we are all susceptible. Any damage that is caused to you during your childhood, your growth, could just flip you, and then you just start becoming promiscuous, especially in the childhood era. Most people who were abused by their uncles, close relative, molestation, those people tend to go to, those we can all agree that they are promiscuous are night ladies. If you should look at all of them, their profile, right from their histories, you could get a fundamental reason, a trauma, an abuse, something that stems from their very childhood, and that has caused them to now, legalize, in quotes, I'm quoting the word though, now they do it for money instead of doing it like that. They commercialize the attitude of promiscuity in that order. So there are thousands and
me and you
so no one can actually miss this, but it depends on how disciplined you are, and then your upbringing, and if you do not want to dent your morals or even yourself at the end of it. But promiscuity seems to be a growing culture in our time, and it's worrisome. We know this because people have shared their stories with us. In fact, we are friends with some promiscuous people and family members, and so it is growing, each and every time. It is getting worrisome. And then what could be the reasons why people someone would engage into promiscuity?
Well,
we just mentioned.
You mentioned a few, the medical one, and then
trauma,
right?
But you see, I would say this scientifically. I said if you do something continuously for 21 days, that's a habit like that.
Okay.
Now, promiscuity moves from an error in judgment into habits.
Okay.
When there's a degree of consistency. Because once I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, subconsciously I find a thrill out of it. Subconsciously, my physique conforms to it as a culture, and then I begin to make a demand on it unknowingly. People who chew their nails, the only solution is artificial nails, and even with that. Have I stepped on it?
No, let's move on.
and even with that, they need an external person to, like, every time their hand is going
from them.
If not, it takes extra effort
for
them to resist, and even worse, when they are nervous, that's their escape. 5 minutes, as soon as they are nervous, you see the finger is going up there because it's registered in the mind, subconscious. This is how I deal with things. This is how I manage things. And we Africans, we activate academic brilliance, not common sense. And so our senses of reasoning is often accompanied by pain, not voluntary desire to accumulate wisdom that will guide my life. So pain comes. Sometimes I feel like, oh, it's one of those things. It keeps repeating itself. It keeps repeating. Over time, it takes a lot of effort for me to get to a point and say, this is what is causing my problem. And then I would find a solution to it. If not, my first statement is, this is how I am. Me, dear, I like this.
This is how I am.
Dear, I like that.
Yeah, right.
And so you are called promiscuous because now your desire for sex is habitual. It is not more about a trauma because you've gone past that phase.
Right.
So now you are accountable for the act. The thriving, habits now is because it is becoming habits induce pressure, influence, right? So once it is a habit for someone, it looks like an attraction to another. It's like success. When you get, somebody sees you, how fine, like we are sitting on TV, we are talking, someone goes like, hey, I want to be like Mr. Titus, look how he's giving advice, So then there's a reason for someone to come. As dumb as promiscuity represents, to the young person, it represents validation, it represents acceptance, it represents a sense of achievement, it represents I don't know how to put, like an embodiment of somebody's definition of themselves. I'm a sex god. Oh yes.
I think recently
people have given themselves names.
Yes, exactly. Now we've even kept the very beautiful names for acts like that. What we have now, there's this hookup, popular name hookup. We have friends with benefits. We have besties. All transaction something. Transacting something. In addition to all these benefits,
people had names like Total Apastos.
Where it is even getting critical.
Commando.
It is critical because recently in here in Tamale there were some girls who were fighting over men on TikTok. This hookup sort of a thing. And I don't want to go into it, but I was saying it just comes to where the sex girl, where she even had to go naked, to show that she has what it is.
She has the goods.
She went naked.
She was nude. Like,
how did I not hear about this?
No, you didn't get to watch.
So it's getting worrisome because how did we even get here? The bragging rights. How did we get here to the extent that people are promiscuous and they are so confident about it?
Madam,
how did we get here?
It's a serious achievement.
How did we get
carry
here?
cement bags. They carried human beings that way. Some 70 kilos. It's
not easy.
So I think we are here because the world is transitioning. I mean, we have been in various ages till now. From the 1960s, where sex, free love movement thing began, people could make their choices. Right from, if you should study how people have lived then till now, sex in various cultures were limited to a particular confinement. You have to go through certain processes. Then you can even decide to have a sexual partner, which is validated by family members and among other things. Sex now became, it's mating and choosing a partner, though it is human in nature, but the sex aspect from gradually as the ages came, from the 19th century to the 20th century to the 21st century, has become an open book. And we as Ghanaians, the influx of multicultural attitude and dimensions has polluted what we all grew up with.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, sex is a holistic or something very sacrosanct in our culture. Not to even talk about the Christian circles. But we tend to throw this good reasoning and logic away when we get some validation from the UN that states sex is now a basic need. If you don't have a sexual partner, it means you are disabled. I read an article in a
interesting.
You know where I'm driving at.
Yes.
So this is a group of intellectuals. I mean, look at where the article came from. UN says if you don't have a sexual partner, you are disabled. What does it tell the current generation? Culture is now put aside. Even what the pastor is saying on the pulpit, UN has said it's now a basic need. So if a basic need there, then it goes. So what we grew up with, the tradition, the customs, the things that guided the society, that were instilled in us, we've thrown all of them away. And we have brought in things that will promote. Look, it is so much so that your dress, the dressing culture, the food culture, all these things are some of the things that has promoted promiscuity in the system. So it's as we go, and then sex has been brought into to bear. People now don't even want to consciously decide to obey certain things, because whatever way you decide to pass, you will get an article, you will get a doctor, you will get even a religious person to give you a verse, a mood, certain situation to justify the act and actions. Most of them have, in fact, someone can sit on TV or anywhere, quote certain verses, tell you any act. So if you are not thinking by yourself, making choices by yourself as to where I want to be in the next future, in the next generation, where do I want to be, to make your own valid choices, but you are basing on people, article, and fact. You know, somebody can just make a product, get some people to scientifically do some bias research, and then come on TV and put it out there, get all the media, all media advertisements are now pushing promiscuity in that order. All media advertisements.
Exactly.
You have like in a day, if the commercial that will run on air is 100, 90 of them is on how to enhance sexual.
Of course. Now,
and it's how they say it. Like, I sat in a vehicle from Tamale, Accra to Koforidua. I was angry. Like, I was so angry. Like, the station that it was on, they sold more aphrodisiacs than they even had news for us to listen
Thank you.
I was sitting in the car fuming, from Accra to Koforidua. I'm like, why? Now we all go get waste medicine or what? So at a point, somebody had to tell the driver if he has music, he should
play the music. Can you imagine?
Radio. Because now that's what is selling. Sex sells.
So, classic, we are here because it's commercialization of sex. We have commercialized something that is supposed to be holy. That is supposed to be sacrosanct in a way.
Private.
That is supposed to, enjoyed in at certain times. We have sold it, we have commercialized it. It's not the only person, those who work in the night. The media is championing the whole case.
Make it worse.
Yes, they have championed the whole case. And now,
what about should we go back to the time where our husbands or partners were chosen for us? Because it looks like in the journey or in the process of finding your Mr. Right and Mrs. Right, you are being promiscuous because you are jumping from one to another.
The problem isn't the selection. The problem is the mindset. If my understanding of partnership stems from devotion, faithfulness, stems from self-worth, self-dignity, stems from legacy outlook, it means that my actions are fueled by me protecting these things I outlined. But then if I have been sold a mindset that says I have the right to do anything, please, freedom. I said this somewhere. I said Africans, we don't teach our children leadership, so we clamor for it. You understand? In the Europe, or let me use America, which is the easiest place. In the American system, you are taught that you represent a legacy. They infuse that into your thinking. So whatever businesses they do, they have it that my son should take over, my son's children should take over, my great. So there's that consciousness. So if you travel around the world, the power holders are generational, you know, families that have held on to legacies that is lived on. It is not negotiable. But we fall into an era where we sat down one day and decides that the concept of legacy doesn't make sense to us. Because for us, legacy with regards to norms, values, a discipline or sense of principle doesn't bring money. So what is it for? So then we have more conversations on money than we do on principles. We have more conversation on how to achieve than we do on what is right. You understand? So at the end of the day, it becomes a struggle. As a businesswoman, my current struggle is looking at the economy, the challenges, and holding on to my principles. I tell you, I've been getting sleepless nights for 3 months because I have to decide on, do I hold on to what I've always believed in and go hungry? Or do I change? And you see, the thing will change. You do one, it go follow. The next thing you know, you have no principles to live by at all. And these people that we look up to have a culture. For instance, if you go to the US, India, let me use India. Walking around with your belly button showing is accepted culturally because their clothing style, even their Muslim women can walk around, not necessarily naked, but like they can walk around and show parts of their body. It is acceptable because culturally it is like that. When you go to Indonesia, they are mostly Muslims. You see, wearing of long clothes is so common, it comes naturally. Even for non-Muslims, they would wear and be able. Now, you go to America, when it is summer, people are half naked.
See all kinds of things.
And so I grew up as a child seeing nakedness as nothing. It's not a big deal for me. You come to Ghana, mentioning my own pubic area is a taboo. Then I graduate from coming out as an adult, and every day they have packed breast in my face. Every day they have packed breast in my face. You think I won't touch? I will touch.
But breast has to move, breast has to move because it's the individuals that carry, so we have to move also.
I have to wear.
It's not classic.
It was still moving when it was inside.
Do you know how we are suffering in this Ghana area? You turn here, you turn there.
Exactly.
It's different sizes, different shape, different packaging.
My minister one day was so upset about the dress. He said, and it was so funny. We all started laughing, but people suddenly became because it's like a daily norm now. You get up in the morning, and if you walk out there, you're going to see a semi-nude, person out on the street. And so my mind is transitioning into something I was not allowed to face into. I just jumped from one phase and I'm going straight into the other one. So issues of management, issues of discipline, like he said, self-control. I don't get some.
This is difficult, especially the semi-nudeness in the day.
So the person is
not full. It's not full. I want to. It's not.
Look, let me ask them. Let me ask.
It's more than the actual. If you are naked, they will not see.
Ladies.
But you see, you are not naked.
Let me ask this question so that you people answer, because you have breath pressure and it does. These days, women, why don't you like putting on bra? Every morning, you see two nipples in dresses, walking around, dangling. And some of these breasts that are showing are not small ones. Some of the packages are, you open TikTok, wherever, Look, these days we can't concentrate.
When the tertiary girls were home in their last vacation, I did a post on that. You see, it's not about body shaming. Decency.
Decency
to it. You will not wear a dress where your breast is dangling in front of you to the office.
No.
So if you are going to accord a courtesy to places where you are being fed, please accord all of us that same courtesy.
Yeah.
When the girls came home from school, the last vacation, I was like, I go out and I was literally angry.
Now they are completing.
You meet them in the market and it's all over the place. I'm like, why? We don't know the price of it. You get second-hand bra. Like, it was that bad. And so I was walking around and I was asking myself, have we failed in grooming our girls?
Yes.
Because
we have
poise, class, elegance, charm, you know, the graces of being, you know, a beautiful, well-dressed, modest woman is missing. And so if you do not dress in a certain way, you do not belong to the class, you do not belong to, you know, that set. And I'm like, and what? You know, you dangled your breast all round, and then what?
I usually, you know, I write a lot, and so at night sometimes, and I have this I think I've seen it for 5 times or so. For those who wear those abaya long dresses, you know, some are very they're not thick material, so very light. And you know, when it's at night, the light from the cars and is always on you. Like it's just so if you're riding and there's a car behind you, the person can literally see whatever that is in there. And I've seen several of those.
Okay, so classy.
I've seen several of those. Then I feel very uncomfortable. There was one I had to tell her that, Auntie, this thing you are wearing, we're supposed to wear something under because it's very light. I can see me that maybe using a motorbike. I can see whatever that, you know, whatever that you have. And she didn't intend to. I'm like, I know, but next time you wear something under at least. So you know, you know, that is why we're having it here, you know, because I don't get it. If you're wearing something long, very nice, yes, you are covered, but inside you are not.
Hence,
you are not. You should.
Hence,
you know, the cars are motors are forced. They just stay behind you to watch all the stuff.
They are causing accidents on the road. They can't make us concentrate.
I was picking a car, and the driver stopped to pick a passenger. As soon as he stopped for the girl, another private car just stopped for the girl. He said, "Look at this idiot." He has taken my passenger. And we were sitting down. The song is Nyama.
Of course. It's okay.
Now it's worrisome because at Tamale, when I came to Tamale, what I know Tamale to be, it was a disciplined town.
Oh yes.
You can't exactly. It was a disciplined town. The cultural they were holding on tight to it. But we say change. We want modernity. We want new things to happen, and this is what we are seeing.
When Sewa Amihe was opening her clothing line,
thank you.
Which of the dresses did you even see her cleavage?
Yeah.
You see, it's our translation of class. You understand?
I do.
And like I said, this is one show. Who is having that conversation? The adults that should be telling the girls, a girl doesn't dress like this, is competing with the girl in the same dress.
Okay.
We are all doing marketing. So who will stop and do the
the other one,
We are all doing marketing.
Right.
So that's the real problem that we have. Promiscuity is going up because parents are now competitors with their children. I wear a dress. What do you think? I'm not interested in seeing. My son fights with me for not dressing. And I'm like, the time to do that has passed. If I need to dress, it's for a place I'm going to. There should be a reason. I'll get up in the morning and be looking all Gucci all over the place and all. And we give them names. You see, that's the funny thing. We get cosmetic names for it. And so it becomes like
accepted.
Yes. And then the trend of it, you know, becomes, you know, all accepted. There was this video of Joyce Meyer where she said she doesn't understand how somebody can use $450 to go and buy trousers that they have cut part of. and she was trying to work her brain, around it. But then it is the face of the youth right now. So you hope that they will be reformed along the way.
Yeah.
We do have a long way to
go on this issue.
Yes.
So we're talking promiscuity and infidelity. If you're just joining us or you joined us along, I'm with Madam Kwale Richardson. I'm beginning to like the Richardson even more than the Kwale. Okay. And I'm also here with Mr. Titus as well. We'll go on a quick commercial break. When we come back, we continue with the rest of the discussion on this matter. Don't go nowhere.
Explore the innovation and imagination behind epic movie making. Apply for our training courses in filmmaking at TMP Film Academy, located at Tamale, Ward K. Our 6 months intensive training program will introduce you to directing, script writing, cinematography, photography, lighting, production sound, editing, graphic design, and many more. You will receive hands-on technical training through behind-the-scenes breakdowns, concept development, storylines, student productions, and mentorship by seasoned and experienced industry professionals. Enroll now. Pick up the admission forms for 100 Ghana cedis. For more enquiries, call or WhatsApp 050-486-8483 or 024-125-1400. TMP Film Academy, unearthing the creativity in you.
Welcome back, everyone, and thanks for staying. This is the CS show, the Classy and the Sassy show on NTV. Now, promiscuity and infidelity is our topic for discussion. If you're watching us on social media live on at North Television GH, make sure you're sharing this content. You leave us with a comment. What are your opinions on this matter? Let us know, and also give us a follow and a like as well. Go on also and like the official page of the show at the CS show on Facebook. Over there you get updated and get information on what to expect next on this show. So make sure you're following us to get yourself updated on the happenings on the show as well. We're coming to you live from the Clinton Lodge and Restaurant, our partners for this season, and also TMP Film Academy and TMP Studios. Our director Biggie Shahid, also our producers TMP Film Studios and Academy, Joe Gameli, Nuru, and Payday. Oh, okay. Hey, Payday. What is today's date? Please make sure you are paying us. So all these people are behind to make sure that the CS show comes your way every Wednesday night. Make sure that you are making a date with us always. We catch a replay every Monday at 1:30 p.m. Right after N News at 1. Madam Kwale Richardson and the CEO of Northern Radio Awards is my guest this evening, and also Mr. Raphael Titus. Yeah, I like his voice. I'm just so jealous of his voice, Yeah, please, so he's married. He's married and he has twins, in fact, triplets. Oh, Ata Papa.
What has that got to do with the show?
I'm just making that known, please. We don't want, your voice is okay. Let me leave it there. Okay. Anyways, okay. Promiscuity is what we're still looking at, and for you have mentioned the various reasons and things that can make one promiscuous. Now, is it genetic?
Unless nymphomania, it's not.
Okay. Well, but the genes, especially with the men, let me say, I don't know.
I'm a genetic, I can't confirm.
Okay.
I've not read any research to that effect. But when you look in Ghana, we have a cultural perception. I believe certain tribes are susceptible to promiscuous tendencies than others.
Okay.
Yes.
Every tribe in Ghana, I'm limiting myself to Ghana because I've lived here longer than anywhere else in the world. So if we should look at our conversations around promiscuity from various cultures and traditions, we can pinpoint certain cultures that are very less likely to be promiscuous.
Right.
By tradition, concept, what the whole culture stems from, they are less susceptible to that character and attitude. In fact, if you should do a survey of our ladies who are commercializing sex in that order, you may even get certain tribes that are dominant. Yes, that are dominant in that industry. That tells us something that some people with I mean, when you cut away the other factors we have mentioned, you are predisposed.
There was this song Sarkodie did.
I'm not saying I'm not saying
exactly.
I can't pay.
I don't want to, but I just want I just want them to have an idea of what
I can't pay 4 billion at a court today. But what I'm trying to say is that so
you have backlash. Yes, you receive that backlash.
People have mentioned. People have. Someone will tell you, hey, this tribe, if they get hold of you, be careful of this tribe. So I think it's, I don't know if that has to do with genetics, because I think a whole tribe.
Ancestral.
Well,
this is ancestral.
Ancestral sacrifice or something.
It's more of the cultural influence. Just as there's no gene that says you are a homosexual or a lesbian. There's no gene for it. So it's behavioral induced. So the cultural factors is what, brings about these things. And like I said, medically, the only thing you can talk about would be nymphomania. Apart from that, you do not have, because, and there's the other one too, where they get consistent orgasm. Like your orgasm is like you are breathing air. It comes at will, the way you want, and it's that bad. So for most people, well, maybe the gaps might be longer. The other one that goes into what you call it. And persons who are intersexed, the hermaphrodites. Right. A lot of the time, the conflicts in the hormonal functions kind of stimulates sexual drive. So you find most intersex indulging in the adult entertainment industry.
Now let's look at for someone who has probably realized that, so from all what these people are saying means, I mean, I'm seeing 80% or 90% of myself doing those things, so it means I'm promiscuous. I no longer want to be promiscuous. What should that person, what should one fellow like that do to check that?
For the change process?
That's the first question.
You see, of all the sins in the Bible, it is only sex God said, flee, run. There's no... I told someone that being celibate, I pray, and he was like, there's no quotation. I said, I found one. And
just like you say, you always find
one, of course.
I found one. I said, God, you created me in your image and your likeness. This body you created is malfunctioning. We need a solution. You see, I don't know how to put it. You must to say I'm staying away from sex means you must be prepared to be isolated. And that's where the change challenge comes in. How bad do you want to change? There's always a solution, but how bad do you want it? The problem isn't who can help. It's are you ready to find that place? I remember the first 6 months of my celibacy. I was punching my pillows at night for 3 months. It's not funny. Like, it was bad. But you see, when my body began to wash itself out, and me, naturally, I'm not a very sexual active person. Unless, of course, it's me and you. So for me to have even gone through that, I was imagining if I was hyperactive sexually. I don't know how I would have endured it. But you see, the willingness, the desire, the discipline, I was ready to learn what needs to change. What do I need to stop? What can't I do? All those things were put in place. So it's not who can help you. It's am I prepared for the phases? If it's who can help, Mr. Titus is here.
Of course.
If it's who can help, there are psychologists at TTH, there's psychiatrists at TTH. If it's who can help, your malam and the mosque, your your priest in your church, your pastor in the church can help you. But the real problem is you go stop.
Yeah, the readiness.
Do you really want to pay that price?
Yes, exactly.
There's a price to pay to stop.
Do you want to pay the price?
Stop being promiscuous. So that's, I think, for me is the real question.
Okay, Mr. Titus.
No, it's very basically simple. If when you come to that realization, it's not something someone tells you, stop being promiscuous, and you decide to stop.
Or we'll whip you.
No, whipping has never changed people to become promiscuous.
Okay.
Look, change stems, any external factor that makes people change doesn't last. But when it stems from within, the person reaching a particular limit, some people it will be getting a particular age in life. And they're like, I don't want to mess up anymore. Right. Now I want to, get head down, open my eyes, look into things.
Live a better life.
You adventure, you go one place to the other, then something near miss. Someone tells you, I've missed my period, and you're like, oh. Later they tell you that, oh, it was just a false alarm. Then you do the sign of the cross, and you're like, I'm not going.
I'm not doing this.
You see again. In that order. So when you have that triggers, and it's deep, I'm not talking about the shallow ones. I'm talking about something that shook your core, a near miss. Then
the regret.
Then regret. When regret comes, your conscience play you that tactics when you are starting the process.
Okay.
When you graduate to a certain level, it's like your brain has been cooked. It has been cooked, fried, as shit. You don't see. In fact, you have gone through a process to justify the whole promiscuity act. Reasons why you are doing it. So until those reasons don't hold anymore, the test of time, they've outlived their usefulness in your life, or you want something different, or you are aspiring to want something different in the coming years ahead of you, then changing or thinking about it is just a dream, or it's just you are living in a dreamland. But when you get to that level, then the people, after the people, they are always there. And means if you are losing control, I always bet on religion. If you are losing control, religion is the place where you are taught to control this your physical body. And it means your power, your real self has failed you. So you need a higher power and authority.
And it can only come from the one that created you.
That's all. It only comes from the one that created you. You give your will to that person to manage your affairs, and gradually you walk under his precepts, and then I think gradually you win yourself. You fall, you rise, you'll still be there, but at least over a period of time, you'll see determination will help you get through.
All right. Oh, very beautiful to conclude on the promiscuity. Now we're getting into infidelity, and I think earlier as well I gave the definition for or explained.
Promiscuity.
Master's degree, or PhD.
No,
master's degree. Hey, it's not easy, but I thought love conquers all. Yes. I thought love conquers all. So how is it that a married fellow would still fall for infidelity?
You see, that is the misconception about love. Classy, I can love now and love you at the same time.
Okay.
It's a feeling. If you define love as a feeling, I can choose to still love now and choose to love you at the same time.
But one will be greater than
at a point in time, you give yourself principles. You know, the marriage setting has certain principles. You make a vow that I choose you above all others. And you make up your mind to honor those words as that institution has brought forth. So if it love conquers all, my love can conquer you, and it will conquer you also, and conquer the next person in the next order. Look, the truth about love is that you will fall in love deeply after you are falling in love.
What? I was expecting something else.
You think you are falling in love with someone, you go to the aisle, you marry the person, it's all rosy. After the honeymoon phase passes, I said this when all the nonsense has come down,
eye clear.
when your eye clear,
and you are above in the house.
you will fall in love again.
Now fall in love again.
Oh.
And if you see, as human beings, we are not going to be the same forever.
Right.
We don't have
We go through changes.
Yeah.
And at every change that happens in your life,
It will
either increase or decrease. So infidelity stems from some of these things. The factor we can't count on, the one thing we can't quantify, or the X factor in marriages, change. So I have loved you because of certain standards, probably because of how you are shaped, slim things. Thank you, give me 5. Yeah.
This is my guest.
That was where it stemmed from, or based on a certain level of attention, attitude, character. When one of these factors change, and I don't have the realization that my partner or the one I have decided to have sexual relation with has gone through certain change, and I must find a way to meet her halfway, adapt to those changes, or probably sometimes prompt her that you are going through this phase in your life, so it's not working. It's knocking things out. It will be. Then you kind of come. Because of I'm going through this, that, whatever it is. That is why we are experiencing.
Right.
How do we work it back together? Because the change will change you. And when the change changes you, it changes things.
Right.
And other things, infidelity will come in.
Right.
I mean, why is he in love with somebody else? Ask them. Because my husband doesn't have time for me. It's a change. Okay. Probably when you married him, he was a government worker. 5 o'clock he's in the house. Now, God has blessed him.
By the peace you gave him.
Yes. He has excelled into another level.
Excel that you are happy about the plenty cars. Means he'll be traveling around.
Thank you.
So they're looking at his face every 5 minutes.
It's no longer.
And I think that one of the mistakes we make in marriage, or when we're choosing a spouse, is this. We start to think that apart from my partner, I will not find anybody attractive.
Oh no, there is always a 2.0.
Fat lie.
There is always someone better.
Somebody find past your wife. Somebody gets sense past your wife.
Somebody can cook.
Somebody cooks better past your wife. Somebody has better physique than your husband.
Intellectually.
Somebody knows how to
handle herself.
You
Thank
with
you.
Words
Thank
than
you.
Your husband. Somebody knows what it means to appreciate you, even for just giving them a cup of water, than your spouse. If you have that registered in your head, it won't matter what is coming.
You're ready.
You are ready mentally, because he's annoying, but I can't imagine a day without him in this house. When that sinks above whatever challenge you are going through, the thought of a life without this person becomes your guide. We fail to see that. And you see, I get angry when people say, I don't know how it happened. I used to tell my exes that when I catch you, Titi, I have a very simple question. Why? Give me a good explanation and I pretend I didn't see it. You don't, we are over. And my friends find it very weird. I said, I may have done something wrong. It's not a justification, but it could be an induction. So I need to take responsibility. But when I ask you and you tell me something so dumb as, I don't know how it happened.
It's the devil's fault.
You mean you magically went naked, enjoyed yourself?
It's not what you think. It's not what you think.
In fact,
it's not what you think.
It's not what you think. I sleep my eyes. I am so blind.
It's not what you think.
In a story, somebody was caught by their girlfriend. And the girl went like, don't tell me it's true. He said, it's not true. It's not true. And when I heard it, I'm like, so she too, after seeing it,
it's not true.
It's not true.
It's not what you think.
See,
what you are seeing is not what you are seeing.
Until we come to the realization that I perfect you and that we are imperfect, I'm going to spend time with an imagination in my time with you.
Okay.
And so in the phases of that process, I am seeking a non-existing image.
Okay.
It's two things. I either mold you to fit into it, or I have this insatiable desire that even though I am keeping you at the back of my mind, subconsciously, I am expecting a miracle. And when it comes, it won't matter what we have gotten. It won't matter how long we have been, I will jump at it without thinking twice. When I meet people, if I meet them before they are yet to marry, or when we talk, anybody I meet, whether I ask, why do you want to marry the person? If you don't answer me the minute I tell you, I said, it's okay, I got my answer. And you're like, why? I said, you've given me an answer, which means you don't have the answer yourself. Find it before you get married. Because the moment, look, if I ask you, why do you want to marry someone? There must be a reason. If you have fixed a date, you are planning wedding, you must have a reason. Because the moment I ask you why, and you hesitate to answer me, it means that either you feel like it is time. I'm telling you, you will cheat. It won't matter. You will cheat. In fact, God must come in. You must hold on to God to the point where consistently, let me speak as a Christian, the Holy Spirit will have to remind you, this girl, don't greet her. You pass, don't greet her.
Don't greet her, exactly.
If not, I guarantee you.
If you greet her.
Oh no.
If you greet her, there's trouble.
It never starts with a fight. Listen, infidelity, we always think it is something she did wrong.
No, it has nothing to do with it.
It is the first greeting you greeted.
It has nothing to do with it.
Otabo said, the Bible in his wisdom said, don't look at a woman twice.
It's the second look.
It's the second one.
The second one.
It is never the first one.
That causes the wahala.
He said his whole life, the only woman he looked twice was his wife. And he stayed there. And they've been married since then. He said, that's my wife. I've never cheated on him. We'll have our fighter issues. Never. You see, there's a point you need to get to.
Okay.
And tell yourself that hurting you hurts me.
Yeah.
I need to get to that point to make you my spouse. And if I'm not there, and I always tell people, don't think I'm headstrong. Don't think I play ball and I'm a hard woman. No. I'm telling you facts that if you stick to. I do nutritional consult, and one of the therapies we do is sexual erectile dysfunction. And a lot of the time when I meet the men, I would do an assessment. And I'll ask questions from your hobbies down to how you relate to your wife. So people will come, I want to be strong. I said, strong for what? I said, are you having issues with your wife? He said, no, I want to enjoy myself. I said, so you want to go and abuse your wife? He said, no, I want to enjoy myself. I said, enjoy yourself like how? Because right now, you are able to do 5 minutes. You want 10 minutes. To do what with the extra 5? So and as you probe further, you realize that sex is more of a chore than a desire. When sex is a chore in marriage, I am telling you, one of you will cheat.
Okay.
Because we are, is cleaning not a chore?
Yeah, it is.
When you use the mop and it's broken, you won't buy another one.
You'll buy another one.
But if you go and the same brand is not there, would you get the second brand?
No, you'll buy. Okay, that's a very interesting way to put that. But then let's look at, is infidelity the spell or the end result of marriage?
No.
The end result.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about should infidelity spell the end of a marriage?
Oh, no, not at all. I don't think it should.
It depends.
Okay.
I don't think it should. You see, we all take infidelity at different levels. Yeah. Some are prepared or have made up their mind. One of the things I talk to married couples, I ask them this question, and sometimes they look at me as if I come from a different planet. What will you do if you should get to know your spouse has been unfaithful to you? Then we take different scenarios. You have to consciously prepare yourself for such an eventuality.
Okay.
If it's a deal breaker, both couples must know that this journey we are taking, these are our deal breakers. If it should happen, it is a no-no.
Okay. Some
could muster the courage, get the right environment to talk about it.
Okay.
You see, talking about it is very difficult. Most of the time, you know, our society and where it has placed men. Yeah. Entitled. We are entitled to so many wahala. So it ends up maya. And most of the time, the women don't know how to make their case right in these circumstances. They end up making it getting out of hand. And when it gets out of hand, when this thing goes out, who do they support? Oh, Bema. As for men, one woman will tell, hey, now, but this one, it is normal and those kind of things. Forgiveness is the bedrock of whether this marriage or this will continue or it will not. The question you should ask yourself is, how big is my capacity to forgive? Because you will never forget that act. Under no circumstance
you can never
ever forget that your spouse was unfaithful to you. You won't. The Bible talks about forgiving, not forgetting. The only person who can forget our wrongdoing is God. He said he will forget it and remember no more. But you, when you see any girl in the shape of that person, you are going to remember.
Exactly.
When you see any woman, any man in the shape of, even if somebody has the name, somebody has the job type, you are going to remember.
Yeah.
So what is your capacity to forgive? And that will decide whether the marriage will continue or it won't.
Yeah.
Because if you can't
take it, no.
forgive to a certain level, then
let's look at how couples can deal with situations like this.
Okay, so let me add a bit to what Titus said. You see, what caused the infidelity determines if they can continue or not. Now, if you two communicate consistently and you've been articulating something like, and it's not working for you, and the person is not listening,
right,
there's a point where one person decides, I'm done. You understand? There's a point another decides, let me just take a break. In that break process, if you both don't communicate that, you know what, let's all breathe a little. You understand?
Okay.
You are going to cheat. Now, when we come back, how the arguments run will determine if I will forgive you. Forgiveness is not the problem in marriage. Forgetting is the problem in marriage. If you are like me that has a photographic memory, it's a whole mental process. I'm not a very forgiving person. I always tell people, if I'm not minding you, thank God. But when I choose to mind you, I go do you some.
Okay.
It's a simple understanding. When couples are not able to forget, not forgive, it's easy to forgive. It's okay. But how do I not allow myself not to remember, like Titus said, the girl's picture showed a big girl. I walk into your office, your secretary is a big girl. How do I not come home dismayed?
That's your taste.
How do I come home not confused? You understand?
Right.
How do I come home and not remember all that went wrong? 2, how are we having the conversation? Are we going to have an accusation battle? Or there's a sense of ownership or accountability conversation? You have cheated. Yes, I did. I'm not proud of it. But you also put me in a position where, as stupid as this decision is, I decided to take that. So in our bid to talk about it, we address and apportion where everybody got wrong. So there's a holistic approach.
Yeah, to it.
So if the problem is, what do you call it? You giving your numbers out.
Okay.
It means that we are agreeing that the numbers will not be going out again. You understand?
Yeah.
If the problem is you watching porn with your friends, we are agreeing that the porn watching has to stop. So we both think of practical ways to outgrow that.
Okay.
But the part where we are not talking, the biggest problem most marriages have is that they don't talk before they invite third party. So the third party is the one finishing the sentences.
Yeah.
The third party is the one doing the assumptional thinking for both parties. So he talk, and when I was trying to say it, then he goes like, you were angry. That's not what they wanted to say. However, it is that they could not articulate in words. If me and you are having this conversation, we will sit in the room. If it's 3 hours, there's a patience because we want to hear each other.
Okay.
And so when we don't pick the right resolution angles, we are going to have problems.
All right.
It is not going to work. I believe when there's infidelity, there must be that conversation between the two of you.
Okay.
It shouldn't be confrontational.
Right.
It should be more of a discussion. A point of understanding. Because when there's understanding, I'm able to release and then forget.
Okay.
But until I forget, I beg, there was no forgiveness.
I still don't think you ever forget. But
Definitely.
you can forgive.
Oh, you can't forget.
You can forget?
Our memory is not wired to forget events.
How many times has your boyfriend cheated? You eventually married him.
You remember.
Oh no, but you still remember. Because anytime it happens, you feel like this is not the first time, this is not the time, you continue to count it.
Forgiveness
But if you also don't forget, you can't stay.
No, our brain is not wired to forget.
Oh,
this is a bank.
Teach yourself to forget.
Please.
Okay, so for the lack of time. For the lack of time.
When you heal properly from pain,
okay,
the episode becomes funny.
Yes, in a way.
Exactly. It doesn't mean you have forgotten. It means you have healed.
That I struggled with chronic depression, and I remember the second time I attempted suicide. I was 12 years old, and the first time I had taken pills, it didn't work. I had running stomach. So my mother found that the way she beat me. Then the second time, after taking the pills, I went to the bathroom and tied the sponge around my neck. Once I was pulling, my mother walked in and she said, "Hey, she gave me a slap." And I know when I narrated the same thing to that was traumatic. You see how I'm laughing about it? Because I've phased out of the triggers.
Right.
So now it's more like, I don't know, like a comical issue.
Good.
So that's where the forgetting comes in.
I don't get when you say forget.
Okay, we'll forget.
Forgetting is the pain. I'm not referring to the images, but like the pain that accompanies.
Oh, okay.
The whole experience.
Okay, that is doable.
Because we let go and stop.
Lets the pain go.
Okay.
We let go and stop.
All right.
The next mistake you are taking.
Okay.
Hey,
so we're
number 5.
lack of time, Mr. Titus. Let's conclude on this. Let's look at how one can, avoid falling victim to infidelity and promiscuity.
Well, you can't avoid. We should hold on to our precepts, our foundation as Ghanaians. We shouldn't let different culture come and influence how we are living our lives now.
Right.
It is time that parents also take up the job.
Yes.
Parents have to. These kids on TV, TikTok, all those places, they have parents. In the one small girl, Buffy, we are coming home, people's husbands and that.
You ready?
Yes, I saw that video on social media. I was like, what?
Exactly. All these children, if parenting fails, promiscuity will be abundant.
Oh, yeah.
That is where we learn all our foundation. From religion, you learn it from the house. Culture is from the house. Everything we have just left this whole thing to the book. And academics, that is all we are thinking about. And in that academic, I chanced on one book that was written, and they were teaching anal sex in the book.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
there are a lot of things.
They wrote it there. Homosexuality.
Wow.
If we should throw away what our grandparents gave us and adapt what is being dumped on us, this is where we will land. And so if the house or the home becomes very strong, daddy is empowered, mommy is empowered, and now they are monitoring these kids. Remove that thing you've worn, go and wear another one. It means that the guy who will see and then fuel this whole action is no longer seeing. And certain things will be controlled. We should also be open with our thoughts. We shouldn't be hiding some of these things from the kids. Look, you are growing. Have you seen how your breast is coming? You are going to experience certain fantasies. Things are going to go your way. I mean, invite an expert to your church, to the youth forum. Let them teach the children that what they are experiencing
It's
is
normal.
normal, and it is not fashionable to do. This is where we practice control. I teach my teenagers that when you're a teen, that is where you practice how to control this self. Because everything is going way out of, so you are arranging. It's like equalizer. You are tuning certain things to a certain level, and how you tune those things is what will catapult you into the adulthood. And if you fail to get the fine tune, you will struggle to tune them at another level. So we should also have, if teens are watching, the stage, all these things you are failing, value yourself. You are you have been bought at a price. So value this body you have, and just don't go around dumping it.
As an adult, recognize that you are not invincible, which means that temptations can come, which means that there will be attractions that may be so alluring and easily accessible. But then you ask yourself, what next? I always tell my child, what did we discuss? And he says, you have to think before you do. I say, yes, it's only fools that don't think when they are doing. Because then when we begin to ask what next, it begins to guide us. There's something funny I always do, but that's one of my ways of controls, where whenever I meet people, I start fancying. In the night when I come, I put my hands on my hair. I say, spirit of deliverance. Funny as it sounds, I actually do.
It works.
And it works. Because then I'm telling myself, this one, if you touch, is problem. So don't look, don't see. If I need to engage you through work or any form of encounter, once I am conscious of the fact that I shouldn't be doing this, I tend to build a system around me to ensure that we won't be found in situations that would stimulate maybe the excesses I'm feeling, but rather help me stay in control and in charge. Everybody is vulnerable to infidelity. But then remind yourself that let me say this importantly, find a reason beyond physique to be with your partner. And when it is pivotal, it will be a reminder and keep you safe. Because believe me, every woman is pretty for another man.
Thank you so much, Madam Nakwale Richardson. She is the CEO of Northern Radio, where she's an entrepreneur. She's a chef as well. And Mr. Titus, Raphael Titus, and he is a marriage counselor. He is a life coach, and he is a relationship expert. So for those of you who have issues around this area, Mr. Titus, you can contact him. Madam Nakwale is gradually adding that to her portfolio. I do not know, but of course, we've heard it and see what she has been doing for people over the period. I want to thank you so much for staying on with us here on CA Show. Airing on NTV. My name is Queen Classy, your host, and make sure you're getting interactive with us via social media. Follow us at the CH on Facebook, also on our Facebook at North Television GH. I'm hoping that you may have learned a thing or two. And for those of you who have sisters, you have brothers, please, if you are the good ones amongst them, please make sure that you're shining that light onto others as well, so that, you know, collectively we have a collective responsibility. Don't always want to take the glory. Oh, I'm the good one. No, I mean, we can all be good, and it would actually project our future into a very good position. I'd also want to say thank you to Clinton Lodge and Restaurant for providing us this particular space to bring you the CA show. They are the best people you can actually bet on when it comes to accommodation, hospitality. Your security is assured as well. There's a lot you can enjoy from their facilities. They have a wide range of facilities that you can use, and so Clinton Lodge and Restaurant is a surest bet when you need a place away from home. And also want to say thank you to TMP Film Studios, TMP Studios, and also TMP Film Academy for coming on board to be in charge of the production of the CA show this time around. If you want to work with us, be partners on the show, make sure you're contacting us with the numbers displayed on your screen so that we can work together. Also, thank you to our general manager, who is the executive producer for the CA show, Mr. Enoch. And also to our CEO, Chief Adam Kokra, and also to everyone, our director Biggie, and to the rest of the team, Tofik, Hidel, and everyone who makes sure that they're contributing their part into making sure that the CA show is what it is. My name is Queen Classy, and also thank you to New Image Salon for this beautiful hair that I have on. They put it together to the very last minutes, and they are able to do their magic. And so the New Image Salon, you can locate them behind Senate Flats. When you go there, you come out, you have this new image on of yourself. My name is Queen Classic once again. I'll see you next week. Make sure you catch a replay if you missed this, or somewhat got into distracted along the way. Make sure you catch the replay on Monday at 1:30 p.m. We love you. Have a good night.